Good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining me on another video. It's been quite a few long weeks. Let me turn the fan off here. But I've been busy for the last few weeks trying to get some projects done. And fortunately, most of them, all except for a handful of things, have completed. So I'm going to commit some more resources now to create some more content for you guys, get some news together, do some research, that kind of thing. I wanted to share this video with you guys because I think a lot more, I guess, news outlets and organizations and whatnot are starting to confirm essentially some of the stuff I talked about in the last video with quite possibly the potential demise of the Bolt EV platform as we know it. It may change, nothing's in concrete, but the assumptions that I made last time are being kind of reverberated across the EV community. So I don't know how I feel about it. I am bummed, I will tell you that, because I've always felt like this car had so much potential and that it had a very great lineage ahead of itself, I guess, if you want to call it posterity or whatnot. But I guess with GM, with GM putting, billions, tens of billions of dollars into EV infrastructure and getting more and more of their vehicle brands up to the EV point, like the Blazer and the Equinox and the Silverado, all those vehicles, at some point you get kind of into a silly not just pricing structure, but also like, how can you sell a certain vehicle to a specific demographic? And I feel like, the Bolt EV would have just been this, entry level, crossover with the Bolt EUV. That would be kind of like this electric utility vehicle, but not really. I don't know, especially with the Equinox being an SUV and the Blazer being an SUV, and, I guess the Silverado is a truck. But I don't know, guys. I don't know how I feel about it. I will tell you this. My odometer right now reads 15,444. Kind of a neat number, actually, if you ask me. So far, I've driven 135.6 miles on 2 charges. I just didn't reset it. And I'm averaging 3.2 miles per kilowatt hour. For the price point of this vehicle, I'm not complaining. I love this vehicle, but I'm starting to notice more and more. And this is me not so much echoing people's frustrations, but me basically starting to commiserate and share in the frustrations that have been, all over the comments in previous videos. I have been for, about a week or so trying to get any sort of information from anybody, be it the concierge or my local dealership, on getting my battery replaced. We're far enough along with this recall that there should be, a light on at the end of the tunnel for everybody. All 140 plus thousand vehicles should have a timestamp of when they can be expecting a battery, even if it's a year out or 2 years out. I'm not saying that everything has to happen right now, but suffice it to say, I'm being stonewalled, and at least I feel like I'm being stonewalled or roadblocked or whatever you want to call it, just because of the fact that I keep getting the "we'll find out," "we'll let you know," and then the end game essentially is that the "we'll let you know" never happens. Something as simple as escalating a recall to GM or whatever is just falling on deaf ears. And you guys know, I'll reiterate again, I love this vehicle, do not get me wrong. Out of all 9 cars that I've owned in my life, this one's the winner for me. And I'm not saying that there isn't better ones. I'm not saying that GM isn't going to release better ones. Obviously, there's something to be said about the Ultium platform. The BEV2 platform, which this car is built on, obviously has its limitations. And, now it has a major recall. But you know what? With the fact that there haven't been any more reported fires, in a long time, and the fact that, like I said, there's absolutely, there's a thing or two here and there that could use some redesigning, and I've shared those in the past. But the car as a whole is super reliable. I get great mileage regardless. I charge using my brain, so if I need to calculate how many miles I need to go, I use a 3 mile per kilowatt hour average, and then Bob's your uncle. If I get more, I get more. If I get less, oops, I'll stop and fast charge someplace. But you know what? I will say that just over the year or so of total ownership of this car, I have saved a boatload of money. My company has saved money with regards to just the effort of trying to keep track of, mileage, billing, expenses, maintenance, fuel costs, and what have you, to where now it's just a flat per mile drive that is easy enough to look up on, on maps or Google Earth or whatever. And just being in the EV world and having had the ability to purchase an EV and now have the opportunity to drive it and own it, I will never go back to an ICE engine. I have absolutely no reason to go back to a polluting form, if you know what I mean. So take it for what it's worth. I don't mean to be bashing GM, but I hate to say it, but a lot of the comments that are in some of the previous videos that I've done are starting to, like I said, reverberate in my own experiences. And I thought, I'll be honest with you, I thought that there may have been some overreactions, with COVID and everything else. I thought people were just angry because they could be, because they wanted instant gratification, the Amazons of the world, but they couldn't get next day prime delivery. I get it. Batteries take time. Everything takes time. And more so during a pandemic when you're dealing with, a recall that's worth $2 billion. That's all I got. I'm a little bit, every time I think about it, I get a little down about it. This car is a great car. The fact that GM is potentially looking at sidelining it, or maybe, changing up the model line, the lineage of the car, and maybe taking parts and pieces of the design and moving it over to another vehicle. It sucks. I think it sucks. Because, well, it just does. In reality, it does. These videos, I make these videos because the Bolt EV community has been, quite welcoming to me, these videos and everything that I try to do. A lot of the things that I talk about on this channel, I try to, educate myself on and see how things are in the world with, everything as much as I can before I open my mouth. And I feel like that chapter is kind of being closed on me by GM, and that makes me kind of bummy too, because we had just gotten, we had just really gotten going on this, and now what? Oh, and the last thing that, like I mentioned about the stonewalling from the dealership, there's a lot more dealerships that are now refusing to service Chevy Bolt EVs. For whatever reason. I've always seen recalls as free money for the dealership, because everything, labor, parts, pieces, whatever, is covered. I think up to a certain, book value, they can charge maximum, time and labor without having to worry about customer wallets in some cases. So I'm a little confused why shops wouldn't want to have at least 1 or 2 techs replacing 1 or 2 of these a week. It's beyond me. I can only speculate. Anyway, guys, I will leave that off there. It is literally just about to be 10. Yeah, God, it's 10 o'clock at night, and I still have to drive 50 miles. So I hope you can excuse me while I get on my way, because I will have to turn this lamp off, and then you'll literally be looking at a black screen if we continue this conversation. So if you're still here and you're still watching, as always, I really appreciate you. I thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. You guys ultimately make the difference in, a good month or a great month. So I really thank you guys for everything. And until next time, like I said, I have a little bit of finishing up to do with some projects, but hopefully next week I'll be able to, maybe even this weekend, I'll try to do some more videos. Those projects that I talked about, like, tinting these windows and trying to get interior lighting done, stuff like that. Maybe we can talk about that again. And yeah, until next time, thank you for watching. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.